Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz. This is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news, as well as a preview of the upcoming game matchups. So, this week, the Texans will be taking on the Washington Commanders in a game where the Commanders are coming off handing the Philadelphia Eagles their first loss of the season. So, I'll get into all that and what the Texans got to do for their game plan this Sunday. But let me go ahead and get into a quick uh, recap for week 10. So Texans lost to the Giants 24-16. And my one takeaway that I have from this game is that you know the Texans they did not seem to take advantage of the Giants lackadaisical effort, if you will. So the Giants got one good touchdown. They got one touchdown in the first quarter, and after that, the Texans defense just kind of held their own. But it seemed like the Giants just weren't giving any effort, and they showed head coach Brian Dable on the sideline fussing at his team, trying to get them to wake up and get into the game and all this stuff. And it kind of took them a while to do that in the rest of the first half. However, they came out and they did that in the second half, in the third quarter, going up. 14-3 and all this other stuff, and then just kind of finished us off. The rest of the game. Um, so I think before it even got to that touchdown in the third quarter, Texans as the offense should have been able to put up a little bit more points, a little bit more than 3 points in that particular case. So also one more tidbit, looked like Peachy was benched just for a little bit. It could have been like he might have needed a breather. He might have had to read something on the defense. So they put him back in like a couple plays later. So I don't think it was really a big deal that they took him out for anything. Like it's not gonna might not affect him going forward. So but that's all I got for a recap. The Texans, they just did not take advantage of the laziness of the Giants in that particular part of the game. And so, what I'm saying, when they go when they go play these other teams that have similar records or or more wins than us, they need to keep that in mind about what I'm saying, being able to step up into those moments where the opponent that's favored over you is not playing up to par. And so uh, that's all I got for that particular recap. So, one big news item this week: the Texans claimed running back Benjamin off waivers. He was waived by the Arizona Cardinals, I believe, Tuesday, and the Texans swooped in and picked him up right then and there on Wednesday. So, a couple things about him: 70 rushes for 299 yards on the season. He's had quite a few starts. Excuse me. Had 3 starts actually, and yeah, in the previous 3 weeks before this last game. And since we got him, a lot of people are thinking like we got a potential number 2 running back, and that just might be the case. What I'm saying, he seemed like he did really well in Arizona. His final days there, especially in that those 3 starts that he had. His receiving numbers, they look cool or whatever. So I can kind of see him being in that coming in to give Pierce some breathers or whatever. But also I could see him kind of like selling, coming in and maybe um, operating out as a receiving running back in that position. So we'll definitely see. Welcome to the team. Alrighty, so get my Coke for this one. Excuse me. Means it was good. I hope I hit the logo. Anyway, so with that being said, yeah. So Texans, they play the Commanders this Sunday. Actually, be hosting the Commanders. this Sunday. And so, like I said, coming into this game, Washington is, they're probably on a high right now. They just beat the last undefeated team in the league, which is Philadelphia Eagles. They gave the Eagles their first loss of the season. And not only did they give them their first loss of the season, but they did it with their backup quarterback. And not only did they do it with their backup quarterback, who's 3-1 coming into this game, but they did it on national TV on Monday Night Football. So you you can tell that, what I'm saying, you can already tell that this team is hype. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a, that it's a team that's last place. There's not much expected of them, and they pulled off, one of the biggest wins or biggest upsets of the season. So, with that being said, they're going to come in here, kind of off that high at 5-5, and so it can go either way for them. It could go up, it can go down for them, and we'll get into that particular part as well. So, if the Texans want to, what I'm saying, you know, of avenge Philly, if you will. I mean, we already took a World Series from them, so if they want to do something nice for them, and just kind of serve the L to Washington, here's a few things that they can do. So first thing, take advantage of the mistake-prone Heineke. So Taylor Heineke, he kind of reminds me of Case Keenum a little bit. Like, he's a scrappy, doing whatever it takes to win type of quarterback who's, kind of been a career backup. So those in those types of quarterbacks to me, I usually consider them like risk takers, big gamblers. So they're gonna go after the big throws. And for what it's worth, Heineke can make some big throws. He made a throw last week. I think it was to McLaurin. You know what I'm saying? Deep throw. And I think they were either up ahead or they were down. But, you know what I'm saying? It was when it put him, it definitely, you know what I'm saying, put them into Philly's territory to go on to score. Um, so, yeah, he will take those. He will take those big throws. He will make those big plays. And at the same time, going after those big plays can lead to some bad results. You know what I'm saying? So the and within those within those 4 starts that he's had this season, he's thrown for 5 touchdowns, but he's also thrown for 4 picks. And as far as like getting sacked, I don't have an actual number, but he's been sacked like 3 times in the last, yeah, not 3 times. Well, actually, yeah, 3 times in the last 2 games. But in 3 of the 4 games that he started this season, he's been sacked like more than once. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, risk guy. He's scrappy. He's going to try to make a play on some things. So, you know what I'm saying? If he does try that, the defense is going to go after him. At the same time, this could just be the case of, they're just not a great old line to be behind. So, um, definitely, you will have to get after him, for sure, for sure. Um, but also, yeah, we'll have to get after him, for sure. Uh, but yeah, well, scrambling up. We'll have to get after him for sure. But definitely, just kind of be aware and let our defense not make any crucial mistakes. And it's going to be tough because Derek Stingley's out this week. And so, Desmond King will be there for sure. So, it shouldn't be nothing that's too horrible at all, or if even that bad. So, um, yeah, it should be something that's manageable that we can just go get after him and just force him to make those particular mistakes. Prepare for the running 1-2 running back combo. So, Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson, both of those guys can be a dangerous duo. And Gibson, Robinson is kind of slowly emerging as like the primary back on this team, and I think he had 86 yards in the last game. So, and Philly's a pretty great run defense. So, imagine what he's gonna. I know you're probably watching this a little. Imagine what he's gonna do to us. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's just something that we really got to watch out for. It doesn't seem like one person. Well, it does seem like the last two games. It seemed like Brian Robinson is really just stepping up and stepping into like the lead running back role. So if he's not already starting on a regular basis, so definitely just prepare for that like big time because you know what I'm saying that sounds like that's a duo that can probably be sneaky good if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? This isn't like you know, a Saquon or a Derrick Henry that we faced all year. You know what I'm saying? These are guys that are like kind of I don't want to say underrated, because they might it might be some things that as to why they're being held not being mentioned as the top as one of the best running back duos right now, but I definitely would say that what I'm saying these are people that you cannot underestimate at any point. So just be prepared for that. Like we kind of halfway prepared. uh, like we kind of halfway prepared for these other running backs. All right, so um, wrong. All right. I'll come back to that. Oh, there you go. Okay, so next thing that I have is do not overestimate or underestimate this 5-5 record. So to me, 5-5, um, it could go either way. It can go up for the Commanders. It can go down for them. You know what I'm saying? So like I really like this is a team they're not just 5-5, but they're last place as well. So it's a reason they got in the last place. Now, granted, there's been some injuries on this team. Carson Wentz, who's the regular starting quarterback, obviously he's not there right now because of what I'm saying injury. Chase Young dealing with an injury. Just injuries all around. So um, it could really uh, it could really go either way for this team, but definitely it would be mindful if, definitely it would be mindful if we just did not underestimate or overestimate. Just approach this like a regular opponent. Just approach this like a regular opponent that's even killed. Everybody's 0-0 right now. As I mentioned earlier, they could still be on a high from beating the Eagles. And it was a very big, monumentous win just based on the manner that they did it in. They won at home. Um, Actually, excuse me, they won on the road. I don't know why I left that out, but yeah, they won on the road in Philly Stadium, in front of their fans, in front of national TV, and it was a pretty, I would say, I won't say somewhat pretty convincing, but you know what I'm saying, they definitely held their own in that game, forcing 3 turnovers, all that stuff, and I mean 4 turnovers if you count the fumble lateral that they threw at the end to get a touch to give up a touchdown, but um, yeah, the Commanders could still be on a high from just like beating those guys, the best team in the NFL. So just kind of be mindful of that and take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? Take that approach and be like, all right, y'all still talking about Monday, but today's Sunday type of deal. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Um, let's see. I think I pretty much got. Yeah. So the last thing I kind of left this out, but I felt like it kind of needed to be said. Some of the stats I was looking at for the Commanders, apparently they're like way up there as far as like quarterback knockdowns. So you know what I'm saying? They will get after the quarterback, just like the Giants will get after the quarterback. And I believe last game, um, Davis Mills got sacked like 3 or 4 times. Let me see if it pulls up. Yes, it does pull up amazingly fast. It's like 4. Yeah, 4. Got sacked 4 times in that game against the Giants. So um, definitely, that's my last thing to protect because it's something that I echo probably every other week. But please protect Davis Mills. Um, you know what I'm saying? Just um, do your job as a O line. You know what I'm saying? It really starts right there. Just kind of protecting Davis Mills and keeping those, you know what I'm saying, keeping those defensive linemen off of them. Because even without Chase Young, they're still dangerous on there. So yeah, those are things the Texans got to do, man. Just take advantage of a mistake-prone Heineke. Prepare for that 1-2 running back punch of Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson, and do not overestimate or underestimate that 5-5 record. Approach it like any other team. You know, with well, approach it with, you know what I'm saying, like they were, beneath you, or just approach it like you ready to win. As simple as that. That's all I gotta say. And protect Davis Mills. And don't, you know what I'm saying? The Commanders are capable of going after the quarterback. For some reason, they have all these quarterback knockdowns stats, but Washington has not generated a sack. So that should be telling on like how fast they're getting to him. So I would say go back to the quick passes and getting the tight ends involved that we were supposed to do more of last week, but didn't get to. And you know what I'm saying? Just protect them in, in the basic way as well. Just recognizing blitzes and all this other stuff. So anyway, that's all I got for y'all this week. I'm Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz. Like my Facebook page, facebook.com/BrandonBlog. If you're watching this on YouTube, please click like and subscribe. Thank you, and holla black.